have a familiar face with us, Randy Blacc. He's amazing. He was on my show many, many years ago. Because I can now say many years, because I'm now, November will be 6 years that I've been doing Vegas Live with Ninon. Awesome. Yes, Randy, it's been going quite well. I'm Ninon, your host, for the next 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. I never know how long these interviews are going to be because, they always sort of turn into something else and something different. In my hand, I've got the Brotherhood Project. Yes. What is the Brotherhood Project?
I grabbed a bunch of guys, a bunch of friends and artists throughout the community of Las Vegas, California, San Diego.
Really?
And us as black men, we're not taught any emotion but anger. So I wanted to be able
that's a new one.
Oh, absolutely. Most men are, absolutely.
Taught anger?
Yeah, you only taught to be able to display anger. There's not many times that men display emotions other than anger. Absolutely.
I'm absolutely shocked. My goodness.
Nina, are you being facetious right now?
No, I'm not being facetious. Okay. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Really?
That's the first time I've ever heard that men are brought up to be angry.
Yeah, absolutely.
No wonder it's tough for us to get on with them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
After all these years.
Women are emotional creatures and they deal with their emotions better.
We're emotional and we're happy and we make things comfortable. Yeah. And men come in and truly what he just said is right. They come in and they're angry.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's the only thing we've been taught growing up that you can display. If you cry as a young boy, what do they say? Stop being a crybaby. You're acting like a girl.
I don't think that's off today now.
You don't think that's up today?
No, I think that men can cry now, and I hope they can.
Well, they should be able to. Yeah, but I definitely think that there are parents still raising young men that say that. Absolutely.
I'm gonna fight this one because I think a man is brought up to be a man because that's what he's supposed to be. But I don't know if a man should be brought up to be angry. And I hate to say that because maybe that's why we have so many riots and everything in the streets because maybe he's angry.
I think it's more so, and when I say it, it's not brought up to be. No. I'm saying that the only thing allowed by a man to display emotion is usually anger. When they display any other emotion, you're not looked at as that strong man. Absolutely.
I am totally
especially in the black community.
Especially in the black. Because I've never I'm not the type of person that whether they're black or whether they're white or whether they're Asian, I'm not that type of person. To me, people are people. And you know why I say that? I'll tell you why I say that. Because not one of us choose to be born. No, to be born whatever color we are born. None of us choose it. We just have to deal with whatever it may be.
Absolutely.
And it's and if I
totally agree.
And I lived in Jamaica for 9 months, and I was definitely white. I mean, this is their country. This is black country. But they had a riot there. I was shocked. They had a riot with the dark blacks and the light blacks. A light skin.
That happens in our community.
So I don't know what happened. Yeah. I was really out of it. Yeah. I was really white. Yeah. I was definitely in left field somewhere. But I've never been that person. I've never agreed with it. I don't agree with this racial stuff that goes on, and these fighting back and forth. All it does is cause anger, which is what you just said.
Absolutely.
And I think we should banish the word anger. Yeah. I think that word should be taken out of the dictionary.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to get away from that.
And I think we nearly, so I think when you say you're brought up to be angry.
To display.
To display anger. Yeah. And I think that's a big awakening for my show to get that out there, not to be like that. I don't think we should be angry.
So that's what the Brotherhood Project's about.
So the Brotherhood Project.
It's to give those people that are in those neighborhoods and those communities that haven't been able to feel like, I can display anything but anger, to say it's okay to cry, it's okay to love, it's okay to be soft as a man.
Absolutely.
When those things that's not the norm.
It's also okay for a woman to do something a man would do.
Yes.
And I think, when I was growing up, we didn't have this problem. We just didn't. And it was never noticed that my brothers, I had 3 brothers and a sister, that they did anything different than I did. We all kind of played together, and we all did the same thing together. Nobody was angry with anybody because he was a man and I was a woman. I was a girl. Yeah. So with the Brotherhood, what is the most important thing that you feel to bring out? You're probably talking a lot about the inner cities.
Yes.
That's what I'm feeling.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the inner cities, I've often wondered, why do the inner cities have to be so rough and so...
I think it goes back to what you were just saying, too, with your Jamaica comment. Like, even in the Black community, we fight each other over color.
I know, I've never got to...
Yeah, dark skin, light skin, like that happens every day in our community as well. So the Brotherhood Project, absolutely. That's been going on for years. That stigma has been going on for years. So the Brotherhood Project was a way for us as men to try to unite us as men together. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm bald and you have dreads, or I'm light skinned and you're dark skinned.
Hair. I mean, well, you've got hair.
That's the only place it grows now. It doesn't grow anywhere else. But we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, it's just that's the part.
I happen to think bald men look great.
Thank you.
I've always thought that.
So you tell me I look great?
You look fabulous. You don't look great. You look fabulous. But you do. And I always say, but we get self-conscious about, when you get older, you lose hair.
Yeah.
So you place every strand anywhere you can.
Yes. I spend a lot of time cutting, making sure that it looks like it's natural.
It's
Absolutely.
natural.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's hard to keep oneself up, but that's all you have to keep up. There's only one thing in this entire world you have to take care of.
Yes, self.
If you take care of yourself first, and you're in order and you're in place, then you can help the world. So he's got a lovely grin on his face. So you must feel that you're very much in place to bring this program out there.
I've come to being 43. I probably shouldn't tell my age now, but being 43 for a long time, there was times when I wasn't sure of who I was or wasn't confident about the moves that I were making. Now at 43, I'm very confident in what I'm doing and my teaching abilities.
So
and
your focus is straight.
My confidence is straight.
Confidence.
I think I've always been focused, but as you grow, you're not real sure if you're making the right steps.
Should I have made a left or a left or a right?
Yeah,
Let's get these hands right.
Absolutely. So that's just the
So
point of it.
are you reaching the younger generation with this?
I'm a school teacher now.
Are you a school teacher?
Yeah, I'm a school teacher.
But you're
now.
Actually a singer.
I'm actually an artist. I don't put myself in a category like I'm not just a rapper, I'm not just a singer, I'm not just a producer, I'm not just an executive producer. I feel like I'm an artist. I do it all.
You do it all?
Yes, ma'am.
I've noticed that most people do it all now. Is that because, which I think it is, the internet? Because you've got everything there. You could have a whole band on the internet.
I think that's part of it, but I also think that it's more feasible now than it was prior, when there were the big record labels that you didn't know as an artist what the label did itself.
No.
And now as an artist, if you're doing it independently, if you're doing these things, pushing your music, promoting your music, making the music, you get an idea of how this really works. So I think that's a lot more beneficial for the artist in growth and us and allowing oneself to grow and really understand the business.
To grow and be yourself and to be who you are.
Yeah. Different, as we spoke about earlier, different.
Yes, it is nice to be different. Yes. I mean, I'm different from somebody. Of course I'm different. There's no two of me. And if there was two of me, oh dear.
What would we do with two of you?
Pretty cool, isn't he? I like this guy. Stay on the set. Stay. No, but when you put yourself out there, you get good and bad.
Yes.
You get people that like you, you get people that don't like you, you get accused of different things and that. But you take it all in and you just keep moving forward.
Continue to be
So
you.
what do you think of the younger generation right now? Where are they going wrong or where are they going right?
Can I back up some before we speak? It was us. It was my generations. So what we see now in these young people is the product of my generation and what we lacked or what we didn't teach to the next generation.
Correct.
So as a teacher, a lot of people talk to me about how bad these kids are, what the problem is with this kid or this and that kid.
No kid out there is bad.
It's usually not the kid, it's us.
Yes,
absolutely. Did we teach that kid how to communicate properly?
100%.
Is his home foundation
in
the
order?
right way so that he knows when he comes to school that he has guidance, that he has understanding?
So it goes
that has to do with us. It has to do with us more than it has to do with the kid. And I think that we, as the generation above these young people, needed to do a better job of what we were supposed to be doing.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Absolutely.
And mostly, this is just a little bit, but most parents are 20 years older than their children. So there is 20 years of education you've got that now you are supposed to pass down
to them
and help them to bring up. And some things that you don't like, you do it another way. You do it your way.
If we're talking about change,
yes,
we're talking about the things in our society that have just happened over the last year or two. some of those things that we're talking about change deals with us. It's not the kids.
It's nothing to do with the children. Yeah. The children don't know.
Absolutely.
They truly don't know.
So
I'm
for
a
us
very
to teach
prime
them.
example of not knowing until I was 16 years old. When I left home, I suddenly, a whole world was out there, and I had no idea.
Your eyes were wide shut.
And I had no idea. Well, no, how I was brought up. I had no idea what was going on out there. No idea at all. So I do understand what you're talking about. So in your case, what is the sort of the age that's very delicate at the moment?
Middle school kids. I would say 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, especially with, again, the internet and things being at the tip of their fingers and knowledge that they can go search for
that they can go now.
Absolutely. They can find things that we couldn't find before.
People like you have got to tell them that they can do that. Otherwise, they don't know.
Absolutely. Well, in my class, I teach a leadership class.
Okay.
So what I do is I understand the tools that we have in front of us.
Yeah, we have lots of tools.
Absolutely. So some kids are afraid to spell. Yeah, they're afraid to spell, or they don't know how to spell certain words. And I say, well, there's a computer sitting in front of you. Why not use the computer?
It's got spell check on it. The greatest thing that ever happened to me was
Google and everything. Yeah,
got Google. But when they had that spell check, I thought, oh my goodness.
Absolutely, it's great.
Home free.
It's turned some of us that aren't great writers into great writers. Absolutely.
It's funny you used to say writers. I thought I would never ever write a book, and I wrote a book.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I wrote a book, and now I'm writing my own biography.
What's the name of it?
Ninon.
Okay.
That's my no, I haven't written it yet.
Okay.
Oh, the other book is Joyful Volunteering.
It's all about joyful volunteering.
Yeah, it's all about volunteering and everything.
Where can I find it?
You can't. I'll make sure you get a copy.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I want to check it out.
I'll get you a copy. Okay. But so I understand how it all works, but I think you're so right that you should enhance the idea of parents. Remember, we're 20 years old than the children, which we are there, and the reason that we have them because we're supposed to love them. And I don't see that happening as much now.
Let me piggyback on that comment.
Well, let's piggyback on anything, yes.
Do you notice how as we get older, we act like we were never kids? Do you notice that as we get older, it's do what I say because I said to?
Yes.
But we forget that we were a kid too, and we made those mistakes, and somebody taught us the right thing to do. So the circle of life is for us to be teaching the next one. Each one teach one, not do it because I told you to.
No.
Do it because I did it and I messed up.
This is how I did it.
So let me show you how not to do it that way.
I want to show you a better way to do it. It may not be the right way, but I'm going to show you the better way, the way I know.
Absolutely.
And so that's. So what should parents do out there? What is the lack right now of how we can control this? Well, not control it, but how can we get it out there?
We need to be more involved.
Parents.
I think we've come to a part in our society where video games and computers and technology have become babysitters and parents of sorts. Yeah. And parents are working full-time jobs now. So they're not in the home as much as they used to be now. So now our children and our kids and our students are spending more time alone with this technology than they were when we were younger.
Absolutely. We've also got the problem now of, so the parents now were brought up like the parents were half there, so they weren't completely there. And now we're getting into a stage where parents are not even going to be there. And parents now have to probably do 2 jobs because that seems to be the way. So now all they get now is probably a text message.
Did you eat? Did you clean the kitchen? Is your homework done?
Yes. Yeah. No, you can't watch television, and they'll answer certain.
But how do they know you're not watching television? Because they're not there.
They're not there. So how do these children work out? They work out their own life. Is this going to downgrade?
We hope that our teachers and mentors and counselors.
So it seems to be backing up a little different because it seems to be that we're now getting a teacher or employing somebody to teach our kids. Because we're going out to work to bring money in, and we're paying for this.
Yes and no. I think that's what the job has always been. I know when my mom and dad went to school, my dad's 60, 63, 64. When he was in school, teachers were like family members.
Yes.
They were there to help you. They were there to guide you.
That was the idea.
Yeah. And somewhere between that generation and now, we lost that idea. Yeah, absolutely.
So what would you advise parents to do? You're a teacher. You see, what age children do you teach?
Middle school, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade.
7th, 8th, and 9th grade. So what would you give a message out there for the parents to understand? Because we can't condemn the parents. The parents are out there.
Yes, doing their best.
The parents are trying to do their best. So just because we're saying that parents aren't being parents, that's not condemning you out there. It's just letting you know that that we need to maybe not have as many children, maybe, try to work things a little differently, and to spend a little more time with your children, especially the weekends, and maybe the weekends have to start being a teaching thing. I don't know. But what would you ask the parents, the best thing the parents can do right now? Because they've got a job or two jobs.
Listen. So sometimes I'm a parent myself. I have a 28-year-old. I have a 5-year-old. Sometimes it's a huge gap, right? Don't ask me about that, Nina. I don't know. 28. I have a 28-year-old with 2 grandkids.
I'm just going to assume that you've got a divorce and married with someone.
Never been married.
Okay, so then that's going into another conversation. You chose not to be?
I had my first daughter. I was 15. So I was in school. I was a baby having babies. And I was an athlete, and I was a scholar, and I had to learn. And
how is that 28-year-old now?
She's a beautiful mother of 2, and I'm a grandfather, and she's working, and she's taking care of her kids, so I've done something right.
You did something right.
Absolutely.
Did you help bring that child up at 15?
Yes.
And did you
and got a job and went to school and played sports and did everything.
You did everything.
And still
you're
graduated.
Young enough to do that. And did you live with the girl that you
No.
had? No. So where was the baby?
With her most of the time. So when I got into college, it's always been set up that I would get her on the weekends because I went to college and played ball.
Yes.
So because I played football, I had to travel a lot in college. So I would get her on my weekends that we were in town, or my parents would get her. Yeah. So let me first say that. Shout out to my mom and dad, because they did a great job of really helping me raise my daughter. At an age where 15, I was raising myself and trying to grow up and figure out who I was. Yeah. So my parents weren't the kind of parents like, yo, you made that mistake, now take care of it. Like, my dad was kind of upset about it, but my dad also knew that in order for my son to be successful, there's going to have to be some leeway and some give and some take.
Yeah, don't keep punching him that he should never have done this and blah, blah, blah.
Because that's not going to do anything but make me go push me away from you. Yeah. So my dad just...
But you took the responsibility.
Yeah, I went and got a job because I was doing chores at the time, and chores don't buy diapers. It's not enough money to buy diapers. So I went and got a job at Lucky's, and I became a bagger and cart pusher, and I would get up every morning at 6, go to school. We'd get done with school at about 1:30. I'd go to football practice, baseball, track, whatever sport I was playing at the time. I'd get done by about 3, maybe 4. Then I'd go work from like 5 till 9 or 10 at night.
So then you got everything in. That's what teenagers do. Yeah. I mean, this is what we kind of go one to the other, and we love it all. Yeah. And your daughter's wonderful now.
Absolutely
And now
great.
What's the second one?
My youngest is 5, and she's just
2 girls, okay.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Oh, you got lucky, didn't you?
I was looking for a boy. No, that's not luck. That's why I'm bald. It makes sense, right? So, my youngest is a beautiful soul, very gorgeous young lady, just smart.
Now, what's the thing about not getting married? Is this just something you just don't feel it's necessary?
I haven't found the right woman.
So
I'm a handful.
Well, hang on a second. If you've got a child, she must have been the right woman when she got pregnant.
No, she got pregnant after we broke up.
Oh.
Yeah, so we had never had any intercourse or anything like that while we were together. We got together in
this is getting complicated.
Yeah, 8th grade. We got together in 8th grade. We dated 8th and 9th grade. We had broken up in 9th grade.
No, I mean the second child.
Oh, the second child, me and her dated for a little while, and it just didn't work out.
It just didn't work out, but then she got pregnant. And So do you take care of that little
Absolutely.
Little soul?
Take care of all my responsibilities.
All your responsibilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you often think of how does that child feel, or when the child gets older? Do you often think that, what would the child think that we weren't together and, you were there, but you still weren't married and all that stuff? What do you think of that?
I don't think any of that.
See? This is the generation now, isn't it?
Well, no, that has nothing to do with generation. It has everything to do with people. My daughters are well taken care of.
Yes.
They don't have to worry about where daddy is.
What does that child think of when she grows up? My mum and dad didn't marry. She has to go into that world of, my mum and dad had me, but they didn't get married. Mm-hmm. How do you think she's going to feel with that? Well, how did your older one feel with that?
The way I would teach her that if it's okay if that didn't work out. My daughter had children by 2 different men. She's with a whole nother man now. This man wants to marry her. Do I condemn her because she didn't marry the other 2?
No.
Yeah. So what we teach them is, if that's not the right moment, it's not the right moment.
So we're going to go all the way back to schooling, where you're teaching. Okay. And what do you teach? Are you teaching them to try to do the right thing, to date and to get married?
In the middle school level, I try to teach them not to date at all because they're, as my father told me when I was young, my dad said women will be here regardless of your age. Yes. So you don't have to chase them now.
They're always
facts. My dad told me that. So,
we don't get lost.
And I was hard-headed and didn't believe it. Oh, Dad, I got to mess with girls now. When actually what my dad was telling me was to stay focused on what it is that I'm doing. There will be time for women later.
It's hard to do that. Women and men, can't always blame the man.
The attraction,
hormones are running around. Yes. You're becoming, you're growing up, you're becoming a person, and all this stuff is happening. And I guess when it happens, it's hard to say no. We can't keep saying, oh, the children should. We can't keep battling that. It's just something that happens that we can't help. But we have to try to guide our children and teach our children.
Even after the mistake. Oh, let me take that back, because a child is not a mistake. So even after the action of.
You can't.
Now you need, instead of condemning them or punishing them or beating them up, we just have to guide them.
Yeah, but I think we would have to say out there that every single child that is conceived in love.
Yes.
I don't care which way you look at it, whether they get married or they don't get married.
Yes.
Every single child in the entire world is conceived at that point of being in love.
Yes.
So I think if any child out there that feels like they've never been loved, they were conceived in love. So I think that's kind of, because a lot of children, they get all these things happening, but they must remember they're always being loved.
We talk about that a lot in my leadership class. I have a lot of students that come from single parent homes or their father is no longer around. And they might feel a certain kind of way like, hey, coach, I don't understand why this is happening. I have more conversations now with students about personal life and the fundamental foundation of growth than we do about my class in general.
Yeah.
And I think that's what my class has kind of morphed into, is a counseling of sort of, I can talk to coach about things I can't talk to my parents about. Yeah. And that's awesome to me that in the classroom we've gotten that. We've built that bond and that relationship. Absolutely.
So you've got this CD?
Yes.
And you've got a few more coming up?
We have 11 EMC, my brother that I work with as well. He has the Out of My Mind CD that's now on Spotify, Pandora, everywhere. You can find it everywhere. And then I have a solo project coming out next month, and I'm pushing out a project. I'm from Richmond, Kentucky originally, so I made a project for all the artists that I know in the Kentucky area that we're going to put that out as well. So I'm a teacher, man. I'm a Capricorn. I just like building. I like helping people grow. I help kids to adults. I just like to see people do better and prosper. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Your success is my success.
Well, I hope so. Yes. At least I'm trying to give you a platform to get what you have out there.
And I'll share.
Yes. And I'll share. Because I think, well, you come on my show, if you don't share it, you don't put it out there.
And I'll share.
I love
I'm
that.
sorry, that was kind of a shot.
No, that was cool. Let people know how they can reach you.
Instagram, Ran Blacc, RANBLACC. Facebook, Ran Blacc, spelled the same way. TikTok, all of those social medias, all Ran Blacc. YouTube, Ran Blacc at Crown Republic Entertainment. And my official Facebook page is Randall H. Blacc II, or you can go to ranblacc.com, RANBLACC.com.
Well, Randall Blacc has been amazing. He's kind of given us a little bit of what's going on with our younger generation. And all I can say is that they might have parents, but even if you're not the parent, you can still help the child at any time.
Let's say
any child.
It takes a tribe to raise.
Yes, it takes a tribe, a tribe, a village, a world to raise our children.
Absolutely.
And each one of you are definitely a gift from God. So if you're all some of you are feeling out there a little bit sad that, no, I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad, and I don't know. You do. You have a lot of people out there, but you have to reach out to them as well.
Can we hit one last thing before I go?
Yes, we can. One last.
It is very important in today's day and age that we discuss, venture off into, and make sure that we make it a very valuable statement about mental health. Mental health is a big thing, and it's part of the health field, and we need to start addressing it as part of the health field because there are many of our youth as well as adults that are dealing with mental health. Make that important.
And it is important. That's because it's funny. I was listening to a program last night on the television, all about the drugs. All these different drugs. I can't even remember all the names. So many names of them. But they're just. I mean, when they capture somebody with drugs, you think they capture little things. So they've got. I mean, hordes of drugs. And you look at all these drugs.
Tons and pounds.
Tons and tons and tons and tons of drugs. What are we doing to the world? Are we trying to kill everybody? Because that's what we're doing. It's working if that's what you want to do. It's terrible.
Yes,
this
I agree.
drug thing is,
well, there's many things. Drugs, alcohol. I mean, we could go on forever.
You don't have many people dying of alcohol. Not as many.
Oh, there's car accidents every day.
Well, car accidents, yes. I guess you could put that to
drinking
drugs,
and driving, things of that sort.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's things that influence us in a way that we should be paying more attention to.
Pay more attention to what's going on in this world. Yes. And, if you see drugs around, get rid of them. Throw them down the toilet. I was at a party one time, and I don't know, I was in this dressing room or somewhere, and they had this powder stuff, and I said, what is that? And because I don't take drugs, yes. They were, that's cocaine. I said, really? And I said, what's it doing?
What are you going to do with it?
I'm so dumb.
What do we do with this?
They're going to take it. Do you know what I did? I hate to say this. I picked it up, because it was on this kind of piece of paper. I picked it up and threw it down the toilet. I did that. And they were absolutely, there was...
they were probably angry with you.
They were very mad at me, very upset with me. And I said, this can't happen. This is I put it down the toilet, and then I left the party. This is no place for me to be.
It's not my kind of party.
It's not my sort of party.
Absolutely.
And it was just open. It was just like, you're walking by, and there it is. And it's like, and it's even worse now. So...
And the younger generation is what I say again. They watched us, so now they believe that, hey,
that's
my grandparents did it, so it's okay for me to do it.
Yeah, I've had a lot of that. So, hey guys out there, just be careful what you do, and just live your life and love yourself.
Each one teach one. Each one teach one.
We will be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon. Don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe. And don't forget to watch us. And don't forget to share us. The share word is out today. Share and share alike. I think that's what they say. We'll be right back with our next guest. Take care. If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe. Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up, and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.